Hi and happy Saturday, friends. This is Meg at Chasing Retro, and I have a haul video to share with you. This has just been sitting and piling up next to my desk as I worked on the Sesame Street journals, but they're all finished now and on their way to their new owners, so I can finally go through this stash and show you what I have found over the past 2 weeks or so and put it all away, which I'm very excited about. I need to reset my space, something major this time. Okay, so my husband has been off work for 2 weeks. We did sort of a staycation for our vacation this year, and we just explored things that were around within a drivable area and ate out and grabbed coffee and looked for music CDs for his new collection that he's starting. And yeah, just had fun. Just really had a fun 2 weeks off. And one of the things he wanted to do was to go to our flea market, which is about 35 minutes from our home, and it starts early. So we got up at 4:30 or 5, and we were there by 6:15. And oh my goodness, it's not easy to get up that early for me, but in the summer I can do it because it's not cold. But you really do find the most awesome deals and unique items if you go early. I guess that's true for any flea market, but I'm going to show you those things first. Let me see. I should have put these in a little bag because they're falling all over the place in this sack. Okay, the first thing I found I've never actually found in the wild, other than like at an antique store. I found milk caps, and not only milk caps, I found juice caps and yogurts. I've never seen one this big. It's like 2 1/4 inches wide. And then I have some orange juice. These have never been used. They are new old stock. Eggs. I guess that was on milk, but it was advertising the same farms. Coffee milk, which I'm assuming is like cream. And this orange and green milk. Super cool. I think that's the only ones that are in here, yeah. I'm trying to remember how much these, I think these were 8 for $1. So he let me I got 16, and then he asked me to pick out like 6 or 8 more at no cost. He was just trying to get rid of them. I found this coloring book. It's by Whitman. And they had a whole stack of coloring book from the 60s, and I think these were $2 or $3 a piece. There is some marks in here, some coloring. But very little, honestly. And this is probably the oldest coloring book in my stash. It's just cute. The little images are cute, and I thought the cover was adorable. I think this would be fun made into a sort of like decoupage onto a large book cover for a large glue book. I think that's the best way to save covers like this. I have not done that before, but I would love to try. I found another guy that was carrying vintage books, and I got 2 that I didn't have yet. This is very loved, taped together tell-a-tale with farm animals. I don't know that I'm going to do a farm journal in the near future, but I'd like to at some point. I actually have never made one. I've sold some farm journaling kits in my store before, but I've never made a farm journal. But I just thought the colors were pretty. It's water damaged. It obviously would be for someone who loved the cover enough to overlook its imperfections. And then this one is, I guess I'm starting to collect these. The Hallmark pop-up books. I now have 4 in my collection, including one that I had as a kid. It's missing the spine, but let's see, is this one? This one's sort of popping up. It needs a little aid, but let's see if, I didn't even see if all the tabs worked before I bought it. Look at that, and that's so cute. Aw. I just love these Hallmark pop-up books. That's cool. That's the central one, I guess. Look, the wings move. That's interesting. I don't know why. I mean, that's not a very exciting picture to me, but you know, it is a fairy tale. And that can be a little weird. Uh-oh. Well, this one is missing its head. Well, it was worth $2, I guess. I just love the cover. I love the colors on it. The hot pink with the light yellow and green. One lady was selling vintage towels and hankies. And I think the hankies were 50 cents and the towels were $1. Not towels, I guess I should say doilies. They're like tea towels or doily type things. So I got this hanky from her. I've never seen, as far as I can remember, a hanky that had embroidery on the edge like this. And then look at this. The design is sort of woven into the fabric. Is that not so interesting? And then this one says a mother's love. A mother is love. And of course it's yellow, so I loved it. This was really cool. I thought this would be lovely wrapped around a journal, and I guess it's supposed to be pansies. And then this, I don't know why the embroidery is on the side that the hem is folded in. That's interesting. So obviously this is handmade and the hem is backwards for some reason, but I thought that was pretty. And these, honestly, I've never seen anything like this. I just wanted them. Don't be silly, please use me. So I guess this was sort of a tongue-in-cheek, like, yes, they're nice towels, but they're here to be used. And the penguins were so cute. Then I walked up on a guy that had 2 of these for sale, and I got 1, but I didn't get 2 because, honestly, I just don't need to. And I wanted someone else to find these, and I wanted it to make their day. And when I walked back through the second time, the second one was gone. So this is North Carolina, and it's 1950, whatever. So it's an appliance company. I'm assuming they sold appliances and hardware for it. Maybe they did repairs also. And then here's the little carbon sheet in the back. I don't think I've ever found a unused sales slip book like this. That's this old. I came across a lady that was selling fabrics, and some were vintage, some were new. They were obviously formerly owned by a quilter. This was one of the fabrics, and I kind of went back and forth on this one. I don't think this is bark cloth. I know some of you have explained to me what bark cloth is and isn't. I can show you a close-up. It is just a thick cotton, rough weave, and a very 60s looking print in aquas and greens and tans. And it's probably, it feels like about a yard maybe. It's got some chunks cut out of it, but that's fine. Then she had these, and I need to donate to my craft reuse store when I go in this week. I'm going to donate the solids because I really don't use solid fabric much at all, especially not bland colors like this, but really high quality white and gray. So this will go to my craft reuse store for someone to use for quilting. And then this is why I got this pack. This is not vintage, but looks vintage. It's artgalleryfabrics.com, Sweet as Honey, designed by Bonnie. What does that say? Bonnie Christine. If y'all have heard of her, I have not, but there's brown. And then there's these doves. I'm assuming these are fat quarters. Doves with rain clouds. And then these beautiful yellow and peach flowers. No, this is more than a fat quarter. I don't know what it is, maybe a half yard. Those 3. And then this peach honey beehive print. And then this beautiful, this looks like sheets to me. This geometric and this. So if you're watching, Susan, I'm going to be sending this one to you because it has bees on it and I don't have any plans for anything bee in my future. It's not that I don't like bees. I just don't like bees. Like, I like the look of them. I'm actually quite terrified of them because we have so much allergy in my family of bees that I just don't want to make a journal with it. I know that sounds silly. To me, it'd be the same as making a poison ivy journal. You know what I'm saying? But I've watched flip throughs of journals that are bee themed, and I think they're incredible and awesome. But definitely will be passing this one to Susan. And anything else bee that I come across, I may send you this too, because I don't see myself using this either. The color is pretty. It's a beehive. All right, that was one bag of fabric. I went back a second time and she put out a little bit more, and I bought this piece. This is definitely vintage. It feels like a Cranston. Oh, love it. It's not Cranston because there's nothing on the edge, but is that not so cute? It's just so innocent and childlike looking. Reminds me of back to school for some reason. So fun fabrics at great prices. I think each fabric piece was $2 from her. Hubby and I went to an antique store and a thrift store, and I picked up a couple of things. I never really find anymore. I used to at the beginning, but not lately. I don't really find many kids' piano instruction and theory books, but I used a dozen a day when I was taking lessons. And the first thing I did when I got a new one is I went through and I colored their dresses and added faces and stuff. But this one is from the late 50s because the teacher has written, and I feel like all piano teachers have the same writing. My teacher, Miss Bailey, her handwriting looked just like that. She has given a summer homework assignment, and then look, she's written the scales in the back for her to practice. Eckstein Piano Book 3. I like the little pictures in these. Another dozen a day. This is the first one, the beginner's one, 1957. So obviously the same student. Technic is fun. I beg to differ. I'm just playing. You have to learn the techniques and the theory to play well, I know. Well, look at this, another B page. I'm going to fold this backwards so I can remember to send this to Susan. But yeah, I am pretty sure it's Susan. I have asked 2 or 3 people recently in emails what they're looking for, and I want to say it was you, Susan, that said B stuff. If not, I'm sorry. I'll go back and double check, but I have folders and boxes started for some Happy Mails for some of you guys, and I know one of you said B. Aren't these cute? I've never seen, they're like little notes. I had never ever seen this type of artwork in a piano book before. And the font is so big. I love this. So if you see this one, grab it, because it's not like the others that you find. All right. Y'all, I haven't even looked at this yet, so I'm as excited as you are to see what's inside. This was at an antique store, and I think these were $3 a piece. And they were kind of blind bags, so it was a little risk getting it. But I hope I'm going to be pleasantly surprised at what's inside. Oh. I have so much trouble with these little plastic sleeves. They just want to hold on and stick together. I also have trouble with grocery store produce bags because my hands are always dry. And I'm not going to lick my finger in public because my hands aren't clean. Ew. So I just kind of stand there and look silly. Okay, so beautiful buckets of strawberries. Beautiful. And I'm sure some of these probably say Hallmark or something on the corners, but not sure. This is a gorgeous farm scene. This reminds me of those Charles Wysocki puzzles. My social studies teacher in the 6th grade did these puzzles, and when she finished them, she put the glue all over them and hung them. We had a school that was built in 1920, and so it had very tall ceilings, and she would hang them over the blackboard all around the room, and it was so pretty. I just loved staring at those while we were listening to lectures. I will never forget that. This says American Greetings, 1973. This is why I got this pack, as you can tell. It's gorgeous, super saturated red roses. Oh, I love that. I don't see a brand on that one. Oh yeah, I do. American Greetings, 1979. Cool. All right, next one. These sticky vellum price stickers are interesting. I've never seen those before. This looks 80s or 90s to me. This sort of seems like a birthday pack. Neon colors. This is unique. I've never seen that before. No date on here. I love the mushrooms. And then these. I thought this would be pretty in the 80s journal. But you got a lot less in this one for $3, but that's okay. Then we got this birthday looking one that's primary colors. And this is one of the ones I kind of like took a gamble on because I could tell the middle one was vintage, but I couldn't see what pattern it was, and I didn't want to like start bending the bags trying to look between the wrapping paper in here. So this gorgeous plaid. This would have actually been nice for the Sesame Street journals. I love that. There's no markings on this one. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Baskets of flowers with birthday greetings. And no brand. Nope. Sometimes you can find out what they are by doing a Google image search. This kind of looks like currant to me, but not sure. I don't see a brand on it. It would say currant if it was currant. Nope, don't know. It's cute though, and I have a lot of that one. I didn't realize I got 5 packs. I just kept grabbing them. We didn't have long to stay in this store, so I just kind of like grabbed the ones that I knew from the outside that I would enjoy. This one is gorgeous, and it's unopened, pansies. And this is currant. These are not vintage, or at least not, they're probably 90s. This is currant on it. But aren't they pretty? This periwinkle is lovely. And then this one is why I got this pack. The silvery with the spider plants. And I think this is called a mother-in-law plant. So pretty. Elephant ears or pothos. I mean, Monstera, sorry. Let's see, what? No brand or anything on this one either. Oh well. And the last one looks kind of muted but still colorful. There we go. Finally grabbed it. Okay, this one is also unopened. And oh, it looks very 90s, doesn't it? Early, maybe late 80s. Cleo gift wrap. And it's, I mean, it's nice. It reminds me of those gift wraps that you would get in gift stores in the mall. You know, the subtly printed florals. This one is very 80s. My grandma would have liked that. Looks very Eastery. Tulips. And this beautiful piece. It's a little more worn than the others, obviously, but yeah, it's got the aging. I don't know what this is, but I think the same artist was on one of the first ones I showed. But isn't that beautiful? I guess they're mums. That's just lovely. I love the little dots in the background too. All right, so was that worth $15? At an antique store, I guess, maybe. All right, we went to a library book sale, which they have, I think once a week they open this store, and it's not the one I normally go to, but honestly, the one I normally go to doesn't really have vintage stuff. This one does. So the first thing I looked for were gift books, and I've never found any at this store other than a Mary Engelbreit gift book. Well, I was in store for a surprise today because look, I could not believe they had these, and these were $1 each. These are the Hallmark, the little Hallmark ones with the adorable illustrations with the kids with the, I guess, inflated size heads, but I love them. They always do a lot of redheads in these, and they're just so cute. And this one was very unique. It does not have the, let me show you, behind this, and this is really dirty. I have to clean it up or take it off. This is the front of the book, so very usable for a journal cover. This one did not have a book jacket. I'm assuming it just never did. And it looks like it was put together wrong. So it's kind of got this bubble in the back, but look at these illustrations. I just love them. They're just very unique. It's like a hippie family. I love it. It's such an endearing book about life with kids. And then I picked up another copy of Heidi. This was only $1. Its spine was floating elsewhere. Here it is. So I'm starting on these soon, so I wanted to just make sure I had enough covers to pick from, and for $1 it was okay to do that. This is a series of readers that I love called The Reading Caravan by Heath, and I have the other, I think there's 5 or 6. I have all of them but this one, and I found this one, and I love it so much. It's just so, the divisions pages are very colorful. The illustrations themselves are okay. I mean, there's a lot in here I can use, but the reason I love these books is the covers and also the divider pages. They're just so nice. Let's find another one. Look at this. This is my favorite one. It looks like our mittens. Watching the kids play. So that was fun find. I think that was $1 or $2. This one was a sewing book, a reference book by Singer, and it's all salmon pink and black inside. Tiny pictures, but still very usable for small ephemera. And I think there's one picture of a lady in here that's big. Yeah, and the rest of them are just tiny, tiny. But interesting, and I don't see this kind of stuff very often. I honestly don't. With color anyway. Sometimes I'll find these, but it'll all be black and white. She tossed this one in for free because the price sticker was not on there. It's just hole painting, and very, very bright retro looking illustrations of flowers. There's some animals in here. I love this style. Isn't that so pretty? Look at all the oranges. And of course there's a giraffe, so that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. I love the little snail. Fruits and veggies. And mushrooms. Anyone can toll. This one was ripped inside. This page was ripped out, that's okay. But just an 80s vocabulary type book by Weekly Read. So it's got, you know, I guess the bears spend all day shopping for their household, so it sort of follows them around town. I vaguely remember these little characters. I remember seeing them at book fairs and stuff, but I don't know that I had one. And then I have this last page that I can save and put into a strawberry something. I don't know why it's called the strawberry lookbook. I mean, are these the strawberry bears? I don't know. Then I found a few, but let's see. Let's do this one first. This one is just an I Can Read book. It's weird to me that the cover is not centered. I don't know why. It would be a fun eclectic cover though, but I love it. It's not only just an endearing story about a couple of friends and they have big imaginations, and as he tells his friend about a special place where all these magical things happen, these things appear in the story, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I love this illustration style. I love the fact that they only basically used orange, red, and yellow and black, but it's still beautiful. I love this perspective when they do this sort of angled down, distorted perspective in drawings. They're at so basically it's talking about the library is where you find all of these adventures within the books, and you can read them and expand your imagination. Brilliantly done. And this is just cute. They go home and they show their other friend about what you can find in a book. This is adorable because I used to do the same thing when I was little. I made my own library cards and I played library with my sister and my friends. Took out. So yeah, that was cute. And then I picked up several books. They have a lot of international books at this store, and today they had a German book, which was a board book, so I didn't get it. And then they had 2 French books and a Hebrew book. I found The Giving Tree in Hebrew, and I found 2 children's books in French. And I mean, how can you just leave this there? So the illustrations are usable. Like that would be a beautiful topper for a journal, honestly. That one too. But how can you just, I mean, you just never come across things that are vintage in foreign language for $1. So why would you not get it? This is also beautiful. This is I think it's the Bremen musicians, but it's also one other story. Whatever that means. I took French for 1 year, but I took Spanish for 5, so I'm not as good at translating the French. And of course this is Hebrew, so it's right to left, but how cool. I mean, what are the odds that I would come across these in a little rural town library store? The last things I'll show are things that I picked up at my craft reuse store over the past month or so, before and or after my volunteer shift. I have a little bit of time to shop before when I go in, and then afterwards I look over the spots that I might have overlooked the first time. So evidently they received a giant donation of Anna Griffin supplies. Now I don't know a whole lot about paper. I kind of got out of scrapbooking in 2002, 3, 4. I kind of stopped scrapbooking after my children were born. We still took pictures, obviously, but I didn't go to the parties and I didn't get the magazines and all that. So I kind of fell out of harmony with what was new in the paper crafting world, which back then was primarily card making and scrapbooking. So I don't even know really what Anna Griffin is. All I know is that her stuff is highly desirable and very pricey. And someone got or sent in a donation of, I guess, all their Anna Griffin card making supplies and embellishments for it. And most of it, I'd say half of it was gone by the time I got there. And then I didn't get any the first week. And the second week I went, I think they had found a bit more. So they had put out a few more things. And I did buy, this was my splurge for the week. I got this bag of roses. There may be other flowers in here, but I see some morning glories maybe for $8. And I don't know if this is a good price or not. Y'all tell me. I don't know if these are 3D, like already put together. I haven't even opened it. You know how they sometimes do the 3D with the 2-layer. No clue. Is this a good price for Anna Griffin flowers? I don't know, but I love the way these look with like 1950s sewing pattern ladies on cards and tags. So I picked that up. And I got one more little bag of some morning glories and roses. Just, I guess, a little extra bag they found later. And then I got one Anna Griffin Cuttlebug embosser. And this is what's so funny. I got this not even thinking this would not fit in my texture boutique. I have a texture boutique that I bought at a thrift store for like, no, I didn't buy it at a thrift store. I was gonna buy one at a thrift store, and one of my generous subscribers sent me her texture boutique. Well, I did not even think of the fact that, hey, this will not fit in your texture boutique, until I got home and I'm like, oh man, well, I guess I'll just hold on to it. And then literally, I don't know if you guys saw my post on my community page, someone surprised me with a Big Shot this weekend. It just showed up on my doorstep yesterday, and I literally couldn't speak for about an hour. I was just so flabbergasted and surprised and shocked and grateful. And it will accept this size. So now I can, it was almost like, you know, I was meant to buy this, even though I didn't know why. But anyway, I like that the flowers look like they have little smiles. I don't know if you can see those little tiny flowers, but this is called Vintage Hydrangea. And it's so beautiful. I didn't like any of the other patterns they had, weirdly. But I did like this one, and it was $2. So, and y'all have to tell me, do I just put a strip in here at the same time I put a page in here? Is that how that works? Because it is attached. I'm assuming you keep it on. If I'm supposed to break that off, please let me know, because I don't know. Like I said, this is a new world for me. This was a barely used roll of vintage fabric ribbon by Leeward's. And I love it. The Dipsy floral with the green and red. Love that. These are all scraps. So these are 25 cents, and it's a giant bin that you can wade through. I got these for my daughter's pony journals, but if she doesn't use it for that, these will be for the 80s childhood journals. It's just a long strip of jersey knit. Oh, 2 strips of jersey knit. I found this piece of daisy fabric. I didn't think it was vintage, but funny story, as soon as we left there that day, we went to Michael's in the same town, because I heard that they're one of the Michael's that has fabric, and they do, and it was weird seeing fabric in Michael's, but they had this print, and so I had a good laugh, because I was like, I literally just bought this for 25 cents. But it looks vintage to me. And then they had this piece of corduroy. I wish I had a pair of pants made out of it. My daughter agreed. It's just so beautiful and fallish looking. And then I got this. This was a scrap also. I got this to rewrap and staple on some chair cushions for a wrought iron patio table in my yard. I'm gonna Scotch guard it. I bought some Scotch guard spray, so we will do that this week, one of these days that it's not oppressively hot. It's been 98 to 99 this week. Really gross. I found this roll of gift wrap. It's vintage and it's very thin and probably not a high quality one, but I like the color. I never really see this color, like the baby blue. And I just thought it was pretty kitschy. I think it was 50 cents. I think gift wrap is 50 cents. I got a few more pieces of scrap. These are not all from the same week. This is over a period of 3 weeks, guys. This piece of scrap is it's not old. It's probably one of the newer quilting designs, but it just looks retro mod, so I grabbed that. I got this fat quarter. It is also not vintage. It's kind of that cotton that feels like polyester. It is Kismet by Sharon Holland. And it is this type of cotton. I don't know what this means. I know I have the same sort of notation on some washcloths that I have that are made to dry fast. So if y'all know what this is, if you're modern fabric knowers, gurus, whatever, let me know what that means. But it's just a very vintage looking autumn floral, and I love it. I love how busy it is. I love the dark gray background, or maybe it's brown. This was just a piece that was ripped off, maybe a vintage curtain or something, and the lady I was volunteering with said, here, just take it. I'm not charging you 25 cents for that. So she got permission to let me just put it in my purse. That would have gone in the trash otherwise. I got these two scraps, this brown calico. I've never seen this design before. This was funny. This was donated. Sometimes we get pieces of clothing or full pieces of clothing in our donation bags. So this is like the top part of a high-waisted dress. It's been made. It says love with a peace sign. I've never seen seam binding like that. So it's probably a Valentine's dress. The collar is, what is going on with the collar? One of the collars has been cut off. I just realized that. And then this is the lining to go around the neck, interfacing. And someone just cut the bottom off. I guess they wanted the skirt fabric for another project. But it is red velveteen, so I thought it was worth saving. This little scrap is very Scandinavian looking, just happy and sweet. This piece is very 80s. Wamsutter, paired with Benny & Smith, who is Crayola. And I actually remember this fabric. I think I asked my mom for some jam shorts out of this, and then I realized I was too old for crayons on jam shorts, but I think I still love it. It's sort of a chintzy feeling fabric. And then I got this watercolor floral, which reminds me of an Easter dress that I wore when I was 11. These colors, man, I was obsessed with this color combo back then. I got this piece of satin that is, this is, believe it or not, this is a scrap, so it was 25 cents. That's not where that's supposed to be. That came off of something else I bought. But it's a variegated, sort of a mermaid-esque feeling fabric. And I got this because I would love to make mermaid journals, but also because of My Little Pony journals. And then I found these three scraps. Someone had made, I'm thinking like one of those decorative flags that you see hung at the front of a church. You know how sometimes they'll do those applique flags with Christian symbols? But they had every color, like all the colors, and it was about this much left of each. So I just got these three. This is for mermaid, and this is just for fun. And then I have two trims. This is what the 50 cents came off of. This pink and white wide lace, and then this, whenever I see this kind of lace with the primary colors, I grab it because I think it's so fun. And then I got this. Can y'all see? It is a basket that goes on top of one of those plant stands. I have been wanting one of the tripod basket plant stands for like 4 years, and I refuse to pay what I find prices on eBay for. They go for $60 to $80. I've never found one at a yard sale or estate sale, ever. Well, someone had taken the top of theirs off, maybe the legs broke, and then put this, hot glued this around it, which is cute. I'll probably leave it. But the base is gone, so I have commissioned my husband and son to make another tripod base for me so I can put a plant in it, and I'm so excited. I figured for $4, why not? A little bit more fabric, and I'm not going to open this bag. It's just basically we have big bins of fabric scraps that are small, like less than a quarter yard, and you can fill one of these bags for $1 and pick your own. So I picked all the fun, colorful ones that I could see. And then I got this bag. Oh, I forgot to show these to my daughter. These are like puffy shapes that you would glue or iron down. I think it's glue because I don't think that's interfacing. I thought these were perfect for the pony journals and 80s. It's kind of cool that we're going to be doing these about the same time because it's going to be a lot of overlap. This was Christmassy trim, and I've seen this before. I've used this on the edges of pages. I love to put this on the edges of pages. It's like a puckered ruffle, if you will. And it's got this old Walmart sales slip, which is amazing by itself. It's not that old though, unless this is the day. If it's the year 21, I guess they're still using these old-fashioned things. That's cool. I haven't been in Walmart fabric in years. Then I got these little things, little flowers that look like mums to glue down. I picked up some 70s color thread because I really don't have much brown left in my stash. They had a Christmas in July set up. It was probably from the same person that donated the Anna Griffin because there were some Anna Griffin Christmas things. But I found this bag of German paper cuts and they listed it for only $1.50 and I could not believe it. Listen to me. They sold it. I could not believe it because I know these companies still make these in Germany, but I did not. I mean, they're worth more than this. This is probably $8 or $9 if you bought this online and had it shipped to you. I got this. Simple Stories is one of my favorite brands, and they had these chipboard stickers. I am going to be making some Christmas journals this year, so I wanted to go ahead and get that. I got two. Oh, I forgot I got this. I got a Doris embossing folder that's paisley because I didn't have a paisley. And look at this adorable stamp with the house. There's like house stuff, like the front door and plants and a bunny and two kinds of boots. I don't know who makes this, but it's so cute. I got these. They're not vintage really because there's a UPC, maybe 1998, but this looks like a vintage design that they reprinted, so I grabbed it. I got these. This was, oh, these hurt my eyes actually. These are holographic dots envelopes. These were in the Christmas in July section, and I paid $1 for 7 or 8, but I thought that was worth it. This was only $1, so how could I not? I love to wear vintage nightgowns, and sometimes I wish they were just a little bit longer, some of my cotton ones. So sometimes I'll sew something like this on the bottom, and this is also perfect for sewing on the edges of towels or pillowcases. If you have a pillowcase that's not quite long enough for your pillow, or just needs a little bit of feminine flair, look for stuff like this to sew on. I got this piece of fabric. It is very loose weave cotton. If y'all know what this is called, let me know. Somebody recently told me the name of, I think it starts with a P, that I had forgotten about, that it might be something else I had bought might be. Oh man, these staples, when we're measuring and cutting fabric for pricing, they've gotten me a couple times, and I think I might go get my tetanus shot early. I'm not due till next year, but I've had a few of those staples scrape across my hand, and I'm like, I should probably get a tetanus shot. But look at this. Isn't that cute? The colors are so fun. One of the ladies I was working with found this and put it aside for me. These are just quilting squares, literal squares. And so I thought those were fun. They're heavily stained. So those will get an OxyClean soak. I got this for the pony journals. Just a this was a clearance Hobby Lobby. And then I got this piece of fabric, which looks like a curtain panel. Is that not so gorgeous? And this is the last of it, y'all. This video has gone on forever. I'm sorry. I told y'all I was backed up. So many other things, irons in the fire this week. This was, okay, I made up a little story about what I think might be happening here. This looks like somebody had a craft room and maybe they were selling their craft room items at a yard sale and were trying to charge $10 for this because it was vintage. I say vintage, it's not that old. Obviously it didn't sell, so it got taken to our craft reuse store and sold for, I think it was either $3 or $5. And it is very 2012. Some of the patterns are very, obviously 2012, but some of them are very retro looking. And so I thought it was worth getting just for the ones that I loved. Michael's doesn't have pads like this anymore, this thick. In that size, I should say. I never find books at this craft reuse store that are vintage that are priced non-separately. This one was priced with the regular books, so I think it was $1. So I snatched this thing up as quickly as I could. I love buying cake books, and this one is from the 60s. And you know how some cake books will turn black and white halfway through? This one is color through the whole thing. Is that not so beautiful? I can't wait to just look through all the pages in it. My daughter was with me and she convinced me to get this. This is Violet Leaf Stack by DCWV. And it's been cut in two, but that's okay. And it's some gold foil elements. A lot of retro-esque looking stuff in here also. Love that one. Fun, right? Or $3 or $5. I cannot remember how much the paper pads are. I feel like the prices just went up on those. And then I found two more Simple Stories packs. I found the 12 by 12 collection for Dear Santa with stickers, which I don't really use stickers much, but I got it mainly for the journaling cards. And then this is a separate Journal Elements pack. And I don't even know what's in here, but it was $3, so I figured, why not? All right, y'all, that was it. Thank you for hanging with me the whole time. That was a lot, I know. Let me know if you can remember back what your favorite item was or items. If you have any advice about creative ways to use the Anna Griffin roses, let me know. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your weekend. See you soon. Bye.